Great. Okay. Oogie. Oogie. Oh, I'm so tired. Sliced. It goes down in the DMs. It goes down in the DMs. Snapchat me that. Or FaceTime me that if it's cool. Well, my DM popping. Hey. My DM just caught a body. I'm tired. It was a lot today, guys. It was a lot. I'm tired. Bruh. Hey, Ricky. Or no. I thought that was Ricky. It's not. But he. I was like, you're late. I know there was a lot going on. It was a lot. Today was a lot. Baja Blast. No, I'm gonna drink Baja Blast. I still have to finish my movie. I was watching Stand and Deliver because it's free on YouTube with ads. So if you guys want to watch, Stand and Deliver is on YouTube free with ads. You gotta stand and deliver by your soul. I'm at the end, like when they have to retake the test. That is my favorite movie. You've never heard of it? Have you ever seen Freedom Riders? It's kind of like Freedom Riders. It's kind of like, is it West Side Story? You know the song that Coolio made, Gangster's Paradise, and it's like that movie. Anyways, Stand and Deliver, thank you for the gift points, is a movie about this teacher that helps underprivileged kids, and they learn math. Basically, he becomes a math teacher. He's supposed to teach computer science, but he ends up teaching them math. What ends up happening is they pass the test, but they all failed the same questions. So because they are of a certain color and because they're Hispanic or Mexican or whatever, they're being targeted and accused of cheating. So then they have to retake the test because they got accused of cheating. So they retake the test to prove that they didn't cheat. And yes, I am bi. There's a video on my page. But yeah, so they have to retake this test to prove that they're not cheating. And yeah, it's a really good movie. You should watch it. It has Edward James Olmos, and it has Lou Diamond Phillips. It has the lady that played the mom in La Bamba. And there's a couple of other actors you'll probably recognize. Stand and Deliver. It's called Stand and Deliver. It's free on YouTube with ads. It's a very good movie. Like, I love that movie, which was crazy. In middle school, when I was in middle school, I watched this movie, right? And I received an email from someone. This was my old email when I had it, my Rocket Mail. And they were like, Stand and Deliver was filmed at our school, Garfield School. And I was like, wait, what? And like, we were talking. I don't know why. It was just an email. I don't even know why I got that email. But, yeah, I was like, how weird, because that was like my favorite movie growing up was Stand and Deliver, and then I get that email and I was just like, oh, okay. Yeah. I'm not lying, it was true. That's at that time when I got caught, because they tried to say I was on a chat website talking to guys, because this guy got jealous. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, I had a racist teacher who didn't like me because I was black, and I have proof. And so there was this other girl that was black. Her name was Majestic. Actually, I think I ran into her at the bus stop one time, and she asked me if I wanted to go to church with her. This was at the old apartments that I was living at, the ones that was the last apartments I was at. I ran into her, and she recognized me. She's like, "Do you want to go to church with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But anyway, she used to hang out with this girl, Sandy Munoz. That's her last name. They were in a gang, and she's the one who pulled out a weapon and said, "Do you want me to you with it?" And I was like, no. I laughed in her face because I thought she was joking, so I thought it was a joke. So I laughed. I thought it was funny. Like, "Oh, you just said you wanted to. Ha ha ha." Yeah, I laughed. Anyways, so then, me and Majestic had the same class together, and this kid, he's Mexican, right? This is why there's a reason why I mentioned that. So I'm sitting next to him, and he's on straight corn. Like, he was literally on corn websites, looking at nude women, what have you. And I told the teacher, I was like, he's looking at this stuff on the computer. So she goes over, I don't know if he clicked out or whatever. She's like, whatever. She blows it off. Well, he's doing it again. And I said, so she saw he was on it, goes outside to pretend to tell him something, acts like she's getting mad at him. And I'll explain why race pertains. Okay? She had a husband who was Mexican, and she's this white lady, this old white lady. And she always brought up like, "Oh, my husband's Mexican. He cooks me Mexican food." And the way that she was talking about him was kind of fetishizing, but I didn't know that. Back then, I didn't know because I was like young. That's a weird comment. Anyways, I was young at the time, so I was like in middle school, and I didn't even understand. Now, looking back on it, it was fetishizing. That's why she was favoriting them, this boy, because he's Mexican. That's why. And I'll tell you why she targeted me. So anyways, he gets mad. Him and his group of friends get mad because I told on him. Well, I mean, whatever. Okay, so what if I'm a snitch? Like, that's disgusting. Like, you're looking at straight up nude, naked girls on the computer. Like, okay. So then, I'm on the computer. This is typing class, by the way. So we're learning how to type. And I finished my work. And, you can go do typing games, or the only games you could play on the computer if it was typing games. And there's this typing game I used to play where you race. You type, and then you're racing people. But you gotta type fast. Whatever. So they went to the teacher and told the teacher I was on some chat website, because this other girl next to me, she was on a chat website, and so I was not logged into anything. She clicks C for chat. She clicks on the first chat website that's there, and then it says login, and she's like, "You was on this website." And I was like, "No, I wasn't." It literally says login, and she goes, "You lose computer privileges for a year." She's like, "You can only do typing. After that, you have to get off the computer." And I was like, "What?" And then she told the other girl, because the other girl wasn't even logged in either. But yeah, she was on it. But then she told her she had to get off too. And I'm like, and she was black, by the way. So you're targeting both of us. But you don't tell him anything because you favored him. Because your husband's Mexican. That's weird. My dad didn't rape anyone. What are you talking about? And my brother didn't rape anyone either. That's like really weird. I'm not even gonna argue with you. Someone said that my music taste is impeccable. I know that. They said that under that song that I posted, when I said goodnight and it was the Bee Gees. I know. It is. Okay. You don't gotta tell me. That's why I'm working on a playlist. I'm working on an R&B playlist. I'm working on like a playlist of like, I think it's early 2000s, I'm not sure. And I have a Disney playlist. So yeah, I'm working on some playlists on They did. I'll even take a screenshot and show you the comment. I'll blur out the username, but they did. They said your music taste is impeccable. I said, no, it's the Bee Gees. It's the song How Deep Is Your Love. I love the Bee Gees. How deep is your love? Deep is your love. How deep is your love? I really need to learn. 'Cause we're living in a world of fools, breaking us down. Anyways, like, the Bee Gees are... What? Why are you asking a question like that? I just have to work on it. I still have to add songs to the playlist. I just been doing other things and letting the playlist marinate. But yeah, I'm exhausted. There was so much. It was drama today. It was a lot, and I'm exhausted. And I when someone goes bam, 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 that just like literally frazzles me. So I was just like, but oh, it's crazy. I don't even know. Oh, I'm tired. What happened? Drama. Lots of drama. I can't even say anything because it's crazy, but yeah. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just tired. Not only am I tired, I was gonna say something else. I've been seeing these cute little baby videos. I cannot afford a baby. Help. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. If I was to have a baby, I wouldn't be able to take care of it. I can't afford a baby. I don't know why people be asking, so when you gonna have kids? When are you gonna... I'll have kids when you have kids. Oh, you can't? Okay, well then. Okay. I'm just joking, but in all seriousness, I'm slightly not. Like, I can't... Like, does it look like I couldn't afford a kid? No. Now I can watch The Proud Family. I gotta work now. I am tired. I am exhausted. It was a lot today. Tomorrow is a chill day. And then I gotta clear some space for something special on Saturday so I can take pictures. What is someone saying? Why are you asking a disgusting question like that? Like, why are you asking a question like that? Ask such a question. See, this nose piercing just doesn't want to stay on. I'm not repeating it, so thank you. My nose piercing does not want to stay in. How deep is your love? Well, it's not a piercing, it's a nose cuff. I don't know why I said nose piercing. You see, I'm tired and I need to get some sleep. I said still to sleep. No, it's a nose cuff. See? I don't have a hole. You just... Why would I get off if I just got on? My little pony, my little pony. Why am I don't even know why I'm singing this song. Go to bed. No. If you was go to church, if you were gonna do your dirt, if you were crazy, go berserk. You scared. Thank you for the gifts. And yes, it is, but it is Baja Blast. Baja Blast, because why? That is the elite Mountain Dew flavor. I don't know of any other ones. They do not exist to me. Baja Blast is the only flavor that exists. I am so tired and exhausted. It was a lot today. It was a lot of drama. It was a lot. I was like freaking scared for my life. I'm just kidding. How can you tell someone they fell off if you've never been on? You have never even been where I've been, so how can you tell me to fall off if I fell off if you've never been on? But anyways, I can't talk about it. It's crazy. I'll just get out of there. And I just can't pull myself away. Under her spell, I can't break. Just can't stop. I'm closer. Why don't I pierce my nose? Because you know how freaked out and how crazy I seen people. Okay, so it was alive or something, and they went, and they just went, like no hesitation, just right through the ear. I'm like, oh god, like I can't do needles, and they would have to stick it through my nose. I do not want a needle through my nose. I'm already terrified at the thought of giving birth. And do you know how giant a needle you have to get for epidural? You don't get, and I'm like, I don't know anything about epidurals. Do they have pills? Because I would rather take a pill than to take a big old gigantic needle in my back. It's just, I seen. Yeah, I've always wanted to be a mother since I was 3. So my mom, obviously, me and my brother are 3 years apart. So when I was 3, my brother was born. And I kept telling my mom, what's that? What's that? I was pointing to my brother. And she's like, that's your brother. But anyways, so then I was like, Mom, I told her I'm a babysit. And she's like, oh, okay. I was like 3, right? But yeah, I always wanted to be a mother. I love babies. I've been around plenty of babies in my life. One lady, that was my best buddy, my little buddy. Anyways, he would always, she could never get him to go to sleep, but instantly when she would let me hold him, go to sleep. And when babies fall asleep on you, this is something someone told me. When babies fall asleep on you, they like you. That's why they fall asleep on you. And she could never get him to go to sleep. Instantly, I could get him to go to sleep. And she's like, this is my babysitter. She's like, you're going to be my babysitter, because she would never be able to get him to go to sleep. I would get a hold of him, sleep. You know. And so she ended up, sadly, she lost custody of him. Aw, poor Charlie. I think that was his name, Charlie. When my friend was alive, she knew him. Like, she knew the lady too. And they would always eat at this one place we would go to. And yeah, I would always see him. He would always get so excited to see me. I'm like, and then I was like so sad because she lost custody. I'm like, poor baby, you know. It's nothing you could do. But yeah, she could never get him to go to sleep. He would be crying all the time, and then I'll be like, here, I would help her, because, you know, I felt bad. Like, she was gonna stay up all night, so, you know, stepped in. You know, that's the type of person I am, I guess. But yeah, Sprite is better than Baja Blast. You better take that back. I'm so tired. What? Why would you ask that question? I'm not answering that. You know what I saw Vin Diesel post? They're re-showing Fast and the Furious at the movie theaters. They're gonna show the original Fast and the Furious with the old ones with Paul Walker. They're replaying that at the movie theaters August 21st. I'm like, man, I want to go see it. I want to go see Fast and the Furious in the movie theaters again. Who is Gilberto Mora? Who the heck is that? I don't know. No, I don't got the money. Well, if I had the money, I'm trying to go. Never mind. I don't have another device. I'm so tired. Candy is a locale. A locale. She is a predator that talked to a 16-year-old. I'm tired. I'm not going to sleep. I was gonna say something, but I better not. That would have been not so good. Oh my god. I gotta respond. I thought I saw something else in my brain. That's what happens when you're sleepy. I thought it said horny. I was like, what? All I saw was thanks horny, and I was like, who sent me that message? I was like, I don't know them. Then I know what it was. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that word. You see, I'm tired. It wasn't. It was a different word. Sorry. My brain was just like, I'm tired. My mind is not in the gutter, okay? It was just, I was like confused. I was like, who the heck is that? And then I realized. Anyways, I'm not in heat. My mind is far from that. I was freaking out because I wasn't going to be able to pay my storage, but then God came through. God came down and said, I got the money for you. And then, thus, the money was provided. So now I can pay my phone bill. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I got my money because of cameos. Thank you. I did 2 cameos. And I made the money for my phone bill. So yeah, I can pay it. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I'm tired. I know I keep saying that, sorry. I did say excuse me. Excuse me. Are you what? No, I'm not going to bed. Are you tired? I just said I'm tired. You, me, babe. Do you like Billy Ocean? Do I like Billy Ocean? What kind of a question is that? Like, I said I like yacht rock. That's like one of my favorite genres of music is yacht rock. So that's what I answer your question if I like Billy Ocean. I love Suddenly. Caribbean Queen. I like that song too. Now we're sharing the same dream, and our hearts will be as one. But I do like Suddenly. I used to play that a lot. Suddenly, life has new meaning. To me, there's beauty up above, and things we never take notice of. You wake up and suddenly you're in love. What is the other song that he has? Get out of my dreams, get into my car. Get into my car. But that makes me think of like that Lando, the Family Guy episode where he was Lando and he went to his daughter's school and he became the cool guy, and then he pretended to get with his daughter so she could become popular, and then at the end they play that song when he's like, when he leaves on the motorcycle, like when he's driving out of the dance on a motorcycle. And they played that song. Anyways, I'm so tired. I know I keep saying that, I'm sorry. I will go to sleep soon. Did someone say dilute? What do you mean? Do you ever define your curls? Yes. Well, there's some products I use. There was a really good product and I can't find it in the stores. I might have to get it. I think it was Dippity Doo or something. It was like this mousse foam or something that I used, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. The place where I found it, they don't have it, so I got it, I think, at TJ Maxx. But I'm like, every time I go somewhere to find it, like Sally's or somewheres, they don't have it, so I'm gonna have to go online because I know they have it on Amazon. And with the curl enhancing smoothie, that worked nicely. Yeah. Hi, hello. You need an unbrush? I have an unbrush. That's what I use. It's a pink one. I had a purple one with glitter, but then it got stolen. Can you believe they stole my unbrush out of the station wagon? When we had a station wagon, we were sleeping in it. And my brother told us to keep checking on it because we were in our room. And one of the times my mom went to go check, there was stuff thrown out of it. And she said, they took it. They stole. She's like, we were robbed. And I was like, what? So I went out there. Sure enough, they took stuff. They took my No, I don't think my Xbox was out there. Well, yeah, actually, my Xbox did get stolen. But that was only because I don't remember. I don't think I left my Xbox out there, but I know my Xbox got stolen. Anyways. So, they took stuff and they took my unbrush. It was a purple one with glitter. And they stole it. And I'm like, you stole my unbrush. But my roommate, at one of the places I was at, she left the unbrush. And they said just to, like, leave it. They said just to, like, leave it. And then I just used it, so I kept it. So I have a pink unbrush. Because she was like, just leave that rest of the stuff there. And I was like, okay, whatever. So then, yeah. She didn't come back for her stuff. She was supposed to come back, and I was like, if she don't come back, I want the shoes. She had some nice shoes, and she kept her shoes clean. Nikes, Vans. I'm like, I want them. I want it all. I want it, I want it, I want it. The fame and the fortune and more. I'm just going to be watching Disney Plus when I get off here. I'm gonna watch The Proud Family. Selfish? How is that selfish? I know you see my messages. What messages? I don't see nothing. The comments are flying. Oh God, help us. I want it, I want it, I want it. The fame and the fortune and more. I mean, not really. What? Uh-oh, hold on. No, I don't have a celebrity crush. Excuse me. Man, I was really stressing out. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to pay my bill. Because TikTok didn't cash out. All because it was a few dollars over. It said, not payable. It says, not eligible for payout. Because it was a few dollars over. I'm like, that's so stupid. I am exhausted. I want it all up. I am exhausted. I'm exhausted. Okay, I'm tired. Still doing what? I'm not dating anybody. Meet myself. Oh, thank you. I love you too. That's all I got till the end. That's what I found out. And there ain't no need to cry. I don't know who that is. From now on, I'll be my own best friend. Be myself and I died 1,000 times. Yes, I now know who Barnyard is because of the stupid AI videos. Yes, Beyonce. Can you keep up, baby boy? Can you lose my breath? Baby boy, can you lose my breath? Can you lose my... In my free time? Is that what you said? What do you like to do in your free time the most? Listen to music. Ooh. Get to you. Don't know what to do. Every time I go to sleep, I have a dream. It is so crazy. I don't know anyone who dreams as much as I do. I probably have more dreams than anybody. I wish there was a way, there probably is a way to like, somebody whistling? I'm a little jumpy tonight, sorry. I'm a little, so there was a lot going on, so. Anyways, so what was I gonna say? Oh, sorry. It's okay. Oh my god, scared. I'm just jumpy. It's just like my PTSD. Anyways, there's probably a way to like, you know how they do those sleep tests? So there's probably a way to like see that I'm having a dream. Every single night I go to sleep, I'm having a dream. Like I dream every single night. I know that I'm dreaming. I can't really remember what the dream was about. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I just dream. every single night. It's just crazy. I'm like, every night I'm having a dream. Crazy. It's usually me, like I'm in an orphanage type place where I'm not allowed to leave. They're holding me hostage and I'm trying to escape. No, people don't dream as much as I do. That's probably a world record. Like, I know people dream, but not every single night. Yeah, some people probably do, but not as much as I do. Like, I never used to dream this much. I didn't have dreams every single night. But, yeah. You want a cookie? Yes, I do want a cookie. I don't know. I didn't dream that much, though. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I'm tired. I don't even have fast food. I don't even have a lot of sugar either. No, I don't want to collaborate with other people. Hi, Sky. Yes, I do want a cookie. A million dreams are keeping me awake. It's all I'll ever take. First of all, talking about someone that is dead is crazy. I could say something to you, but I'm gonna refrain because I'm supposed to be nice. But you're pushing it, because I could say something horrible to you and then you'd be crying right now. But I'm not. Ooh, I met Ed from Good Burger. Me, my brother, and my mom. We met Keenan Kale. Or, no, not Keenan Kale. I meant to say Cal Mitchell. Sorry. We met Cal Mitchell. Bloobity, 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 bloobity. Welcome to the Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order? He was saying that the whole time, and it was so cool. He had an original Good Burger jacket from like when Good Burger came out. So it was him, and it was Shai Jackson, or Shar Jackson. She's the one that played the girlfriend in Good Burger. She played Kenan Thompson's like girlfriend. I forget his name. Ed. Ed is the other guy, and then I forget his name. But anyways, yeah, she played his girlfriend. She was there, and we took the white guy that was in the movie. He was at another Comic-Con, and the one in June, but I wasn't able to go because I want to get all their autographs. I was hoping one day to meet Kel Thompson and get his autograph. It's like on a print that looks like the Nickelodeon magazines. Oh, I got a bunch of Nickelodeon magazines, which is so cool. I'm gonna tell you. There's one magazine. My brother got me these. They're a bunch of Nickelodeon magazines, but somehow the cover came off because they're really old, so the cover tore off. But one of the Nickelodeon magazines has this bubble house, which, because my back itches. There's this bubble house that's like by Nob Hill. I don't know if you walk by there. You know, I don't know if you're from Albuquerque, you know what house I'm talking about. It was in Nickelodeon magazine. And it's so cool to see. It was in Nickelodeon magazine, and I have that magazine. And then it was showing the house. It was like a really cool, interesting house. And it was like Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I was like, that's so cool. Do I like someone at the moment? Yeah. I'm tired. I know I keep saying that. Thank you for the rose. Tell us a joke. What's a pig's favorite karate move? Yes, the pork chop. I'm just kidding. Dad jokes. What do you get if you cross a rhino and an elephant? What do you get if you mix a rhino and an elephant together? Dad jokes. No, I didn't do karate. I learned jujitsu. Oh, I can order Whataburger right now. I could get me a patty melt. But I'm full. Me? It's not me. It's a hell if I know. Get it? Dad jokes. Ah ha ha. There was a book that had a bunch of these. What do you get when you mix a cow and a volcano? What do you get if you mix a cow and a volcano? My favorite TV show, I used to like 13 Reasons Why, and I want to go back and rewatch that. Because I haven't seen the newer one that came out. I never finished that one. So I was going to go back to the beginning to catch up so then I could watch the newer one that came out. Who do you like? Why would I say that? I'm not gonna say who I like. 13 Reasons Why is a show about self. I'm not gonna say if it's a boy or a girl because I already said hello about my next relationship. Do I have to answer? Because I'm not. No, I haven't drank any water today. No one answered the question. What do you get if you cross a cow and a volcano? Oh, great heavens. Well, yeah, you did say me, but that's not the answer. Someone said cow volcano. Cowcano. Cowcano. No, it's not a cowcano. What do you get when you cross a pig with a volcano? Utter disaster. I'm just kidding. But that's actually a dad joke. When you cross a cow and a volcano, you get utter disaster. Get it? Because they got udders. And when a volcano erupts, it's disaster. So, utter disaster. Someone said tell jokes, so the only thing I know is dad jokes. I mean, I know some other jokes, but that's controversial. Someone said a joke in school. He was this kid. He was this kid. That makes no sense. In middle school, I got ISS because I don't know if that was. I can't remember if that was. There was 2 times I got ISS. One time I got ISS because I told a kid that I was gonna. I said I'm gonna effing KILLU. Because I got pissed off at him because he was bullying me. Yeah, I liked The Weeknd. So, anyways, I end up in ISS, which is, in school suspension, which means you have to go to this room and you have to go there for 3 days. You don't get to go to any of your classes. You have to go to this room. And in school suspension, we had to write, how in the beginning of The Simpsons, how he has to write the rules over and over again. That was me. if you were there, that was my first time there, I had to write the rules once. But if you got in there like 10 times, you had to write the rules 10 times each. That's how it was. There was this kid in there who would do crazy things like jackass. And he literally bragged one time how he stapled his... Okay, TMI, he stapled his nuts to his leg. I don't know why he bragged about that. He was doing jackass type stunts. He used to hang out with my friend's brother, and we were at the bus stop one time waiting for the bus. And you know how you make a torch with, like, I think it was like cologne or something, and you can like, and it like a flamethrower, but they make like a torch and they made it like a flamethrower. Well, they flamed through someone's privates because it smelled like a cooked hot dog. It smelled exactly like a cooked hot dog, and I was like, oh my god, someone just like burnt their private. It was like crazy. They would do jackass stuff. Anyways, he was in school. I'm not even gonna repeat the joke because it'll probably, yeah, not on TikTok. But he said well, he was Asian, so he can't be racist, but the joke that he said, he shouldn't have said it because he's not black. And everyone laughed. They thought it was funny, and at the time, I didn't really, I didn't laugh. I was just like, that's kind of crazy, But everyone laughed, and he said the joke is, why did God make white chocolate? I'm pretty sure you could figure out the rest. You could figure out the answer to that joke. I'm pretty sure you could figure out the answer to that. So yeah, that's what he said. He said, why did God make white chocolate? And if you don't know, look it up. I'm pretty sure you'll find the answer. I'm not lying. That's what he literally said. He said, why did God make white chocolate? He was one of those that cracked jokes. He would literally like do jackass type stunts. Like, he literally bragged. He was like, yeah, I stapled my nuts to my leg. And I'm just like, why are you even admitting this? He's like, I was like, okay, pal. He's like, I stapled my nuts to my leg. And then he was always acting out in class. He would always like make people laugh. He would say very prejudiced type jokes. That should cue you in onto what the answer is to that joke. That joke is about black people. And everyone was just laughing. I can't even remember his name. I'm trying to think of his name. I think it was David, but I don't even remember. My vape is broken, and I don't think I see the need to buy another vape because I don't really need to vape. I vape no nicotine, but there's not really a point to it. I just like the way the flavoring tastes. But formaldehyde is in the vapes, and formaldehyde is used for taxidermy. But I don't know if it's in no nicotine vapes, but I know in vapes it has formaldehyde. So I block those people that make AI videos. You voted for Mitt Romney when you were older than that kid. Give him some grace. We gave you grace. You didn't give me grace, and why am I gonna give him grace for saying a prejudiced comment? First of all, I was ill-informed. I was an impressionable 18-year-old who listened to a teacher that literally, at the time, I didn't see anything of it, but it was prejudice. My teacher was prejudiced towards Obama. He brought up Fast and the Furious. So if you didn't know, not the movie Fast and the Furious, there was this huge project called Fast and the Furious. Look it up. What the government tried to do is give thousands of guns to the cartel so they could track the cartel. What ended up happening is the cartel took the trackers off the guns because these guns had trackers on it. They removed the trackers from the guns and released thousands of guns to the cartel, and the cartel removed the trackers, and now there were thousands of guns released to these people. So the cartel ended up with weaponry because the government supplied them with weapons. They took the trackers off the weapons and they couldn't track the weapons. So they lost thousands of weapons to the cartel, whatever. I don't know if that was a propaganda thing to like make it look like Obama was, bad. I don't know. But I know my teacher showed us a whole documentary, a whole thing on what was called the Fast and the Furious. It was like a plan called Fast and the Furious or whatever by the government. My teacher, he was always talking about Obama, saying that Obama this, Obama that. That was when Obama was in office. I remember I was in school. We watched this on this like whiteboard. I was in school when he said that they got Osama bin Laden. I remember that. I remember sitting in school and watching the thing be televised where he's giving the speech. We have taken down Osama bin Laden. That was like huge. I love Obama too. So anyways, at the time I was 18, my teacher was saying all these things like Obama's bad. I'm not, nor have I ever been a Republican. I don't agree with some of the stuff Democrats do. I don't agree with either side. So that's why I said I want to change and be in the middle. Because I don't agree with any party. It's a two-party system. You're either Democrat or Republican. And third party doesn't stand a chance, and that's not good. But at the time, I was Democrat. I was never a Republican, but I voted Republican. So, anyways, at that time, I had to do an electoral ballot or whatever it was because I didn't have my ID. I forgot my ID at the dorm. I stood in line for a long time, and I was not going to go get my ID and go stand back in line for a whole other hour or however long, an hour plus, because I forgot my ID. So I did the absentee ballot is what it's called. They give you an absentee ballot if you don't have your ID. And so then I'm standing in line. This is my first time ever voting, by the way. And my teacher had just this was when I went into college. So right after high school, I go to college, and since I'm 18, I'm able to vote. So it's my first time voting. And I had remembered everything my teacher said about Obama. So I basically wait in line, and for me, I was basically fed a bunch of lies. I was manipulated. Like, my brain, I didn't think for myself. I just voted based off of what my teacher told me, so I voted for Mitt Romney. I didn't care. I was just marking. I was like, the first time I voted, like, I voted mostly Democrat except for the president. And I was just marking because I was like, let me just get this over with. Like, for me, back then I didn't really think voting was important. Now I see voting as important, right? But this was my first time voting. No, actually I was Democrat when I voted. I was not Republican. It said Democrat. I was a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I've never been a Republican. I have never been a Republican. Ever. That was my first time voting, and it was marked down Democrat. Yeah, so I have never been a Republican. I was a Democrat that voted Mitt Romney. Like, that was stupid. That was the stupidest thing ever. Because for me, I was 18. I was going through all of these issues. I was leaving home to ask for my portable charger. Fuck. Well, I'll have to ask him tomorrow. And I'm not going to be able to see him until... Shoot. Bruh. Well, I'll have to do it tomorrow. Hey. So, anyways, back to what I was talking about. We know what happened. Anyways, I got it back. So back to the whole Mitt Romney thing. So then, no, I'm just tired. So then what happened was that my teacher had been talking so badly about Obama. I didn't think all those bad things about Obama. For me, I was like, oh, this isn't really this isn't like, my mind was just like manipulated. And I had so much going on. I was leaving home. It was my first time being away from my family, living on my own. And so my teacher has said all this stuff about Obama. And some of it I believed in. It wasn't like prejudice stuff, Like, it was like things like I slightly believed. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, my economics teacher in high school, Mr. Garcia. And so anyways, Mr. Garcia, I think I ran into him at Dollar Tree because I think he recognized me. And I think that was him. But anyways, thank you for the gift points. I'm sitting here, I'm chilling, whatever. And, well, no, I'm not sitting and chilling. I am sitting and chilling right now. That's why I said I'm sitting here chilling. Sorry. Anyway, so I stand in line for hours only to be told, no, I didn't go to Highland High School. I went to Atrisco Heritage. Highland High School is where Beavis and Butthead go to. Yeah, the guy, Mike Judd, he's from New Mexico. Highland High School is the school that Beavis and Butthead go to. But anyways, so then I had listened to my teacher, and like a dummy, I voted for Mitt Romney. I didn't know anything about voting because I was just like, get this over with. So I voted all Democrat except for the president, and I was Democrat, and I still am Democrat. I've never been a Republican. Why I voted for Mitt Romney was because my teacher said a bunch of stuff. That's the stupidest thing ever. Like, like, that's dumb. My brain wasn't fully developed, and here I am voting like a stupidly voting. It's a big deal when you go vote. It's a very big deal. It's not like check. That's not like when you vote, you're supposed to carefully, thoroughly look up the people you're voting before you go vote. You're supposed to make the right decisions. I didn't, because for me, it was my first time voting, That's dumb. You should know about your candidates that you're voting for. You just don't willy-nilly vote. That's what I did. That was very dumb of me. Now I'm very conscious-minded of who I vote for. That's why I voted for Kamala Harris. Even though I don't agree with some of the stuff that Democrats have on their side, and I definitely don't agree with Republicans. Like, I don't agree with Republicans' policies. They're very harmful. Very harmful. Republicans, well, I do kind of blame myself because I should have educated myself more when voting instead of just going to vote because my teacher manipulated me into voting. Like, you're telling young, impressionable students that you work at a high school with that Obama's this horrible person. Yeah, like, you're influencing horrible influences. But anyways, now I thoroughly vet what I'm voting for. But the thing is like, voting is very important. It's not just something where you just check. Like, hurry up, let's get this over with. No, you really gotta be conscious of who you're voting for. Like, voting really matters. People think that voting is inconsequential. No, it's not. It affects our livelihood. Like, look, because people wanted to vote Trump in office, look at all the horrible things that's happening, right? I know that. When you say no-ish, I didn't know that because I was an 18-year-old young person who was just getting out of high school, mind you, having to deal with my dad's bipolar. I had a lot going on. I didn't think it was that important to, like, really think my thought through when it came to voting. You know, like, my brain's not fully developed till 24. Men's brains develop later, way later. I forget how much later. But women's brains don't develop until it's fully developed at the age of 24. No. So I didn't vote until it was Donald Trump and Joe Biden. And I voted for Joe Biden because I didn't want Donald Trump in office. I already knew that was a horrible thing. So I voted Joe Biden. I didn't really vote since then because, you know, I would forget, and then it would come time to voting, and you can't do mail-in ballots because you couldn't do mail-in ballots because it was too late, and the buses weren't free at that time, so transportation was not free. I would have had to pay for transportation. And the whole Lyft Uber thing, I didn't know. They never used to do that back then, I don't think. Where it's like, you could get, if you use this code, you could get a free Lyft ride to, like, a voting center. They give you free rides if you use the code. But I didn't do that. So anyways, I couldn't go because I had to pay for the bus, and I didn't have bus fare, so I didn't go vote. Anyways, I went to vote. I did a mail-in ballot, and I voted for Joe Biden. And then Kamala Harris ran. So Kamala Harris runs, and I said, I don't want Trump in office. So I voted Kamala Harris. And ever since then, you know, it was marked down Democrat. I have never been a Republican ever. Even when I first voted, I was a Democrat. My mind was clouded. You know, I had a lot going on. My dad's bipolar was bad. I was leaving home. I also was going through a lot of emotions because I'm like, my mom and my brother are in a situation. I'm leaving home. I'm worried, like, are they okay? Because, you know, my dad would never harm them, but his bipolar was bad. At one point, he stopped taking his medications, and he was on testosterone because I guess he thought his testosterone was low. And yeah, he was taking testosterone while not being on medication. That was making him moody, like crazy. He would get angry, mad for no reason. Anytime he took testosterone, that spiked his levels, and he was angry. Like, I know that's why. he would just take out his anger, and he didn't hit us or anything, but yeah, he yelled. It was like very bad. It was like traumatic. And so yeah, I had to walk to get him cigarettes. I had to, yeah, it was a lot I had to do. And mind you, at that time, I didn't have no job. I was just trying to make it with my family. So I had these shoes that I wore, and I couldn't afford any other shoes. And I wore these throughout school, so much so that they got holes on the bottom. So my shoes were wearing out on the bottom with holes. I couldn't afford a new pair of shoes. I couldn't get a job because at that time I had just gotten out of high school and I was going into college. I went to UNM. And I had shoes when I went to UNM that were worn out. But after college, I had these shoes that were worn out so bad. They had holes on the bottom. And I would have to walk. This was a long distance. My dad would make me walk. Yeah, I know I did one semester. I know I don't have a degree. So anyways, I walked with these shoes that had holes in them. Mind you, in New Mexico, they have stickers. I don't know if you guys know what stickers are. They're these little pokey things that are like, they grow on weeds and they poke the hell out of you if you step on them with your feet. If you step on one of those, man, that is so painful. So, and the west side, there's so many stickers. And the area that we had to walk to get to the gas station had so many stickers. So I would get them stuck to my foot and it would go into my foot. So I would have to pull the stickers out of my feet. I would be trying to avoid stickers, but I couldn't. And then I would get my foot would, because I had holes in my shoes. I couldn't afford a new pair of shoes, so I walked around and my shoes got worn on the bottom. So my dad, he would make me go get him cigarettes even though I didn't want to, and I would have to walk far. It would take me just like maybe an hour, almost close to like 30 minutes, like a 30-minute walk. It was probably a little longer than that. I would have to walk all the way to the gas station and back. I don't know. No, there is no grass. It's weeds. So these weeds grow everywhere and they grow these stickers that are like pokey things. So they're on the ground. There's no grass to walk on. Stickers don't grow in grass because it's a weed. Well, burrs, but here we call them stickers. We don't call them burrs. We call them stickers. So, anyways, what happened was I don't do battles, and I just saw that they were live, which is crazy. And I don't follow them. Their live popped up. Anyways, so I would have to walk there. My dad, we would walk every night. He would make us walk. This was before we had a car. And we would walk there because my dad would get his disability. We would cash. I didn't want to go. I wanted to stay home. I'm like, you guys could walk. And he would force us to walk. Me, my mom, and my brother would walk with him to the gas station, which was not close by. It was like an hour walk to take out his disability. We would get burgers, like those burgers that you heat up. And then we would walk home. And I remember I didn't want to go, and he would make me. And I'm like, I just want to stay home. I'm tired. I don't want to walk. Like, why are you making me walk? Is that a piece of my tooth? I don't even know. That might be a peanut. What had peanuts? I ate a Reese's. That might have had peanuts because peanut butter. The way I said it, peanut butter. Anyways. Sorry. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad. So yeah, I was forced to walk, and this gas station was like 3 hour, like not 3 hours, an hour away, or 30 minutes. I can't even remember, but it was a long walk. And my dad sometimes, he would make us walk there and stand outside and ask people for money and say, hey, ask if you can have some money for cigarettes. And I'm like, my dad wouldn't ask for money for cigarettes, and this is his addiction. He would make us ask for money. If the neighbors didn't let him borrow money, he would borrow money from the neighbors. And I'm like, oh my God, please don't let him, like, don't give him money. Because I knew it. I knew once he got the money, he was going to make us walk. And so he made us walk. He made us walk to, so he would make us walk to this gas station. And the neighbors, he would give him money, and sometimes he didn't want me to walk. It's his addiction. Why should I have to walk for his cigarettes? But, anyways, man, so then the neighbors would lend him money. And this was when we lived on the west side in those new houses. We lived in a brand new house. We were on Section 8. And our house, nobody lived in it. We were the first person to live in our house. He became friends with the neighbors, and he would ask them for money. They would give it to him until finally they said, we can't give you any more money. He would borrow money, and then he wouldn't pay them back, because he would say, oh, I'm going to pay you back. I'm going to pay you back. He would pay them back, but, he would have to wait till he got paid. And, well, actually, he's not my stepdad. He's my real dad, but whatever. So, yeah, that was a hard time. And the gas station was not, like, right across the street. It was, like, an hour away. And there's no buses that go that way. And if there was, we couldn't afford, because we only had enough money for his cigarettes. Because he would collect enough money for a pack of cigarettes or for a couple of cigarettes, because they used to sell cigarettes by the singles. And I'm like, I don't have to be going to get your cigarettes. This is your addiction. You need to go get your cigarettes. And I told him that one time. I said, I don't need to be getting your cigarettes. That's your addiction, not mine. And he forced me because of his bipolar. I couldn't, yeah. It was a hard time. And I had just gotten out of high school. I went to UNM. I had to drop out because I couldn't afford college. I was back at home. I had a skin infection, which was an abscess. That was the most painful thing. Had to have surgery for that. Became bulimic because, trigger warning, because I didn't eat in the hospital for a week. And when I did eat at home, I got sick. I couldn't hold down my foods. And then when I ate a lot, I would make myself, because I ate a lot. But anyways, so then at that time, my dad was sick. He stopped taking his medication. He was taking things out on us. He was taking testosterone pills. That was making his moods, bruh. That was making his mood, thank you, over the top. And he would take it out on us. One time my mom thought we would have to jump out the window and run away and go to my grandma's at night. And I didn't even know how we was going to get there, because my grandma, she was kind of close by car. It's not a far drive, but walking, yeah, it would have been a long walk. But yeah, well, I also binge ate. Anyways, so yeah, that was the whole thing. So that comment. Yes, when you do that to yourself to lose weight, because when people eat a lot, they do that to themselves, because I didn't eat for a whole week, so I lost 100 pounds. That got into my head that, if I stopped eating, I would lose weight, because I did. I lost 100 pounds in a week. When you do not eat, unhealthy eating habits, yeah, especially if you don't eat for a whole week, you lose weight faster, and that's not a good way to lose weight. Like, at some points, I wouldn't eat. Like, I would starve myself, and then I would eat a lot, and then tell myself, oh, if I do that, if I bring it back up, at least it touched my body. Now I could get it to come back up, and there's still remnants of the food in my system. So if I throw it up, technically, it's not like I'm losing the food, but that's not good. You know what I mean? I was telling myself that, the food is still in my system. So, yeah. Because if I threw it up, most of the food was still digested in my system, which is not. Yeah, because I was a germaphobe, and I had a skin infection, and they drained an abscess I had. And I was in the hospital for a week, and I didn't eat anything for a week. The only thing I drank was apple juice. Apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice. That's all I ever asked for, was apple juice. They would give it to me. One point, I drank so much apple juice that TMI, I threw it up. I drank so much apple juice, I threw up. Because, I loved apple juice. Like, that was my thing, and all I ever asked them for was apple juice. I wasn't even eating. I was just drinking apple juice. No eating. Breakfast, lunch, or dinner, didn't eat nothing. My mom would be like, look, you got soup. This is good. I'm like, you eat it. I don't want it. She was like, you need to eat something. She's like, this is good. And I'm like, no, you eat it. Yeah. Well, when I was younger, and I was a teenager in high school, I didn't drink water. I ate ice a lot. Now looking back on it, when you're anemic, that is one of the symptoms of anemia, is eating ice. That's what I did. I ate ice. That's all I did. We had this ice machine because we were in this new house, so they had new appliances. Our house was a brand new house with new appliances. And the refrigerator had a built-in ice maker. You just go like that and get. Sorry, my 20% battery came up, which means I have to get off because I don't have my portable charger. Someone borrowed it and I need to get it back. Anyways, I forgot to ask because I was. There was a lot going on because I had bills and I was like freaking out because thought I wasn't going to be able to pay them. Made the money to pay them, thank God, but my phone bill, I was just freaking out. Anyways, yeah, I get stressed and then my brain, I just forget things. Anyways, so, yeah. I was in high school. I was eating ice a lot. I was having a hard time going to the restroom. Found out, I went to the doctor. I found out I was anemic. Found out that I was constipated. They gave me this giant white bottle of powder that I had to put in my drink that was like laxative. That cleans out my stomach. It was a big old white. It made the tea taste fruity. I was like, I hope this tastes good. It made the drinks taste good, but it was a big old. I was low on iron. That's why I became anemic. So. Sorry, y'all. Anyways, my bad. Yeah. Anyways, I gotta be careful. I'm so tired. So, I'm gonna get off because my phone is dying anyways, too. I feel like that's, what do you call it? Sarcasm, but anyways. So, yeah. So, I found out I was anemic, and then I had to take these green pills, which are iron pills, because I was low on iron. So there's that. So the reason why I was eating ice a lot is because I was anemic. That's why I didn't drink water. When you eat ice a lot, that's a symptom of being anemic. So, anyways, I'm gonna go get some sleep because I'm tired. My phone's at 20%. I gotta put it on the charger. I don't have my portable charger or else, but I need to go get some sleep. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. It was a lot today, and I'm just tired. Really? I was just about to send a galaxy. Well, you can send one if you want to. I'm not asking. A whole lot of doing nothing, right? Doing nothing? How would you know if I do nothing all day? You don't know what I do. I'm sleeping my life away. It's time to go to bed. What do you mean sleeping my life away? I don't sleep all day. That's crazy. It's my real hair. Why are you asking if it's a wig? Like, you would know if it's a wig. What'd you do today? Well, I can't tell you. I use a curl enhancing smoothie. Yeah, I had open heart surgery when I was 5. No, I don't let people up in my life. Sorry. You can't tell me nothing. That's that Kanye West song. Anyways, I better go get some sleep. Yeah, I'm going to bed. Good night. Have a good day or night where you guys are. We'll see you guys later. Bye, guys. Good night. Stay safe.